Today I'm going to try to go ahead and detail my reloading procedure when I get new brass and when I reload even fired brass. It's a brief overview here of the procedures and what's entailed. And you can see some of the things I'll go through, and I'll show each of these operations. This one here happens to be for new brass for a model 700, and it's chambered in 7mm short action ultra mag based on a long action. And I'll be shooting out of it the Bergers, the 195 grain Elite Hunters. Also, once I've prepared the new brass and it's been fired, my procedure for reusing the brass, resizing if necessary, and bringing it back up to match grade in what I consider match grade standard. I use Nosler brass. It says on the box that it's ready to be loaded. I disagree. I'm sure for general hunting purposes, but it says fully prepped and ready to load. But not in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. But we're gonna get started and show you what I do, and in the order in which I do. This is the order in which I do. If for some reason when you're watching the video I've got one section out of order, which I'm finding that it's quite difficult to edit because every video looks almost identical unless you watch it. This is the order in which it's done. So if you happen to see that I'm neck turning and then a portion of the video shows that I'm trimming the case length, know that the case length trimming does come before the neck turning. We'll get started. Out of the box, the headspace on them measure 6 thousandths clearance. There's 0 and 6 thousandths clearance, 44, which is runs to the top of 50, so 6.5 thousandths there, but 6 thousandths clearance. And I've checked a few of them and they're all the same. Nosler makes some pretty good stuff. Before you run them into sizing dies, I use this Imperial sizing wax, and I like to coat them all before running them in the die, just because my fingers are all going to be all lubed up. So I'll lube up this entire batch, then I'll clean my hands so I can run the press without caking the handle up with the wax. I like to put I'll put it on heavy and then smear it down to a thin film. You definitely don't want to not put it on. You'll get a case stuck for sure. But I'll bring you back when we're going to run it through the die. Now this is a body sizing die that will not size the neck. I use the competition bushings on all of my stuff. And as a matter of fact, I've already preset the die, and I've got two 7mm short action ultra mags, and I've got two complete sets of dies. The one happens to be a Model 7 that I size for, and the other one's a Model 700. I will buy a complete new set just so I don't have to change the settings on it, and I can make them as consistent as possible. And I don't have to remember where it's set. I take all the notes though, but it's just easy to have another die. Now I've got this die set. It just kisses it, and it just resists at the very bottom. I mean, almost if I just let it go, it'll go full swing, but it'll hold up just a shade at the bottom. Just a little preload in it. I'd say just enough to take the slack out of the mechanism. I move up, turn 180, back up again. Up, 180, and back in again. I'm sure it's fine the first time around, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything. And we're not really affecting it at this moment. I don't feel any real resistance, but I do it to all of them just because I want to be. I've always done it to all of them, and my rule is always do it. Consistency. Everything the same. Eat the same breakfast if you're going to reload. Trimming the case length. Sinclair Wilson trimmer. And these are the dies for holding the new cases, or the fired cases. This other one here is a 30-06, which holds either fired or new. Put it in your die, give it a little tap, make sure there's nothing on the base or on the micrometer base, because it will take too much material. Seat it in the die, or in the holder, and trim. And gently pop it out, and you can verify 2.01. 2 inches, 10 thousandths. And they all will come out that size. Alright, we've just finished trimming the cases to length, and we've got to deburr the inside edge, and I'm just going to lightly deburr it with the VLD. Now to neck turn, we would normally insert the expanding mandrel This is your holder for the mandrels. Normally we'd insert this holder and run each of the cases through. They've already been expanded from the previous time. We would run those up through there to expand them all. I put a little oil on them for a little of the Sinclair neck turning lube. If these were all brand new cases, I would run this carbide. It's not really it's the mandrel that you run the neck turner on, but these are for the 7mm. But I'd usually run all those through just to take any dimples out of the case necks, and then I would go and run the expander. And once that happens, the cases will then slide into the mandrel. I just happen to have two of them that fit the mandrel. I've got to reset this. It's set for the 15 thousandths, so I've got to reset that so that I can shave just a pinch more off of them. Okay, we're going to redo the neck turning on these. I didn't take them down quite far enough to clean them up. I usually leave a little bit of a shadow, but there's a little more of a shadow on these necks than I would prefer. But they currently are 15 thousandths with a little shadow on most of them. I just turned these first two here, and it looks like we should be able to clean them all up at, I'm going to call that 14.4 thousandths. And they look nice and clean. Yeah, 14.4 is what I'm going to mark in my notes. And just chuck them up. Put a little dab. Slide it onto the mantle. Cleaned up. 14, I'd say 14.4, maybe 14.35. Of course, I'm estimating between the lines. But that should do it. Another 75, no, another 100 cases to do. Close to 100.